take a look at the performance of Derek Brown and the OC Jazz Band.
Listen in to the wise words of civil rights leader Andrew Young.
We take a look at the State of Union address and the termination of a Cold War-era treaty with Russia.
And how the passing of SpongeBob's creator affected this year's Super Bowl. All of this and more right here on Eagle Angle.
Hello and welcome to Eagle Angle. I'm Kate Rampey.
And I'm Mandolyn Skipworth. Eagle Angle is a student-produced newscast live from the campus of Oklahoma Christian University.
Last night, I got the chance to see the live performance in the Brew by the OC Jazz Band and saxophonist Derek Brown. Here's what it was like. Yesterday, the Brew held an event featuring talented YouTuber Derek Brown, accompanied by the OC Jazz Band. Known on YouTube as Beatbox Sax, with over 7 million total views on his channel, Brown uses his instrument and his voice in unison to create beats with a saxophone. Senior Michael Potts had the opportunity to play alongside Brown at the event. Michael plays saxophone as well and says Brown inspires him to try new things.
Yes, he definitely inspires me. There were some technical things that I actually heard him practicing this morning before we'd even met together to rehearse, and I was like, wow, I need to go try that myself. So today I was practicing some stuff that I just happened to overhear him playing while he was, didn't think anybody was listening. So just everything he plays and practices is, I can, just take pieces of what he's doing and the things that I know will help improve my ability as a player.
Brown now continues on with his 50-50 tour, in which he will be doing over 50 shows total across all of the 50 states. For more information about Brown and the tour, visit DerekBrownSax.com. For Eagle Angle, I'm Kate Rampey.
Performances and coffee like last night? Well, you're just in luck. Emmy Award winner and former OC student Jabby will be performing live this Friday, February the 8th. The Black Student Union will be hosting this event in the Brew for the whole campus to enjoy.
Last Monday, the Career Service Center launched their new name and campaign. Their new name and brand is Day 6. This goes along with their new biblically based message. Here is what Will Blanchard has to say.
So Day 6 is our brand new Calling and Career Center. It's a reimagining of what was our Career Services Office, and we are focused on helping students and alumni and even prospective students think through how they're built, what they're made for, what their gifts are, and then after we've kind of thought through those things, arming them and placing them in worthwhile and productive careers. We really want this new office to be missionally focused, and so rather than talking about careers first, which any university can do, we wanted to lean into who we are at Oklahoma Christian. And when you look at Scripture and you think about how and why we're made, one Scripture that continually stood out to us was Genesis 1 and 2, and the story of creation. And on Day 6, we were made, and that story reveals a lot about us and what we can do every day to kind of live into a calling. We want to help you understand, again, your gifts and use those well every day. And so my goal for students is that they would have that introspection and that we would use that introspection well now and for the future and kind of finding them good and fulfilling work. Yeah, so the best way for students to reach us at Day 6 is email us, day6@oc.edu. You can also find us almost any day of the week in our office. We're on the main quad underneath admissions.
The Department of Communication is hosting its annual faith-based playwriting competition. The winners of the competition will receive cash prizes, and the first place script will be featured at the OC Play Festival in April. Plays must be submitted by Monday, March 4th to com@oc.edu. The scripts must be 5 to 10 pages in length, along with cast list, brief character descriptions, set requirements, and drop requirements. No physical scripts will be accepted, so all scripts should be submitted as PDF documents to com@oc.edu. Winners will be selected by a panel of judges on Monday, March 11th, 2019.
This week, the OC campus was blessed by civil rights leader Andrew Young. For more on the event, we go to Becca Kashorek.
Crowds lined up Monday night to hear former civil rights leader and UN ambassador Andrew Young speak at Oklahoma Christian University as part of the History Speaks series. Ambassador Young spoke about his close friendship with Dr. King and finding his spiritual purpose through the civil rights movement.
And that's their purpose for me. And I don't know what it is, and I don't care, but God would not have made this world without a purpose for me.
Many in the crowd identified with Ambassador Young's teachings of patience and forgiveness through hardship.
We shouldn't feel angry about the things that's happened to us within history, but we should try to forgive and come together as one so that we can grow.
If we are able to sit down and talk about things and see each other's differences, I guess, and respect each other, then you can kind of meet in the middle.
History Speaks serves to educate the public about civil rights history with annual key speakers like Ambassador Young during Black History Month.
Out of all the stories we've been able to tell, one of the stories that we hadn't told exclusively or really thoroughly was that of Martin Luther King. And so with Dr. King being deceased, I had to think who was close to him. So we reached out to John Lewis, and Andrew Young just seemed to be a really good natural fit for us. And so to have somebody who was there with Dr. King when he was assassinated, I thought would be an amazing thing to do.
The series has enriched the culture of the Oklahoma Christian community and brought many civil rights heroes to campus over the past 6 years.
It's good for our community internally as well. I mean, these are living legends of history, and it's great for students and faculty and staff to have the chance to really interact with them and hear these very special messages.
Ambassador Young hoped to spread one simple message: forgive and love above all else.
If you ever forget that under that sheet is the heart of a child of God, you don't need to be preaching.
For Eagle Angle, I'm Becca Kashorek.
This concludes your local news. Now on to news from around the world. The President emphasized unity during his State of the Union address last night. For more about the State of the Union, we go to Karen Kafa.
The agenda I will lay out this evening is not a Republican agenda or a Democrat agenda. It's the agenda of the American people.
On a contentious Capitol Hill, the president preached unity.
Together we can break decades of political stalemate.
To a divided Congress, with Democratic Speaker Nancy Pelosi over his shoulder and scores of newly elected women watching in front of him. Many critical of the president's demand for border wall funding that led to the longest government shutdown in history. The chamber also held Democrats competing with Trump in 2020 for the highest office in the land.
An economic miracle is taking place in the United States, and the only thing that can stop it are foolish wars, politics, or ridiculous partisan investigations.
Still, President Trump touched on bipartisan topics like infrastructure projects, cutting the cost of prescription drugs, and ending HIV in the U.S.
An amazing quality of life for all of our citizens is within reach.
Trump also touted his foreign policy agenda.
We must be united at home to defeat our adversaries abroad.
Now, the president and Congress have until February 15th to work together to keep the government funded. On Capitol Hill, I'm Karen Kafa.
Last Friday, the Trump administration said that the U.S. will begin formally withdrawing from the Cold War-era arms control accord called the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty. This bold move by the U.S. prompted Russia to announce their own withdrawal last Saturday. In a tweet following the announcement, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo stated that the administration had been expecting this for months. Pompeo also said, "To this day, Russia remains in material breach of its treaty obligations not to produce, possess, flight test a ground-launched intermediate-range cruise missile system with a range between 500 and 5,500 kilometers." President Trump added on Friday that the U.S. cannot be the only country in the world unilaterally bound by this treaty or any other. In Moscow on Saturday, Putin said that Russia will continue to move forward in their development of land-based intermediate-range systems, but will not deploy their missiles unless the U.S. deploys something similar. Despite a fear of a growing arms race between the two superpowers, NATO has expressed its support for the U.S. in an announcement. Allies regret that Russia, as a part of its broader pattern of behavior, continues to deny its INF treaty violation, refuses to provide any credible response, and has taken no demonstrable steps toward returning to full and verifiable compliance.
Governor Ralph Northam faces controversy as racist photos are resurfacing. We go to Emily Schmidt for more.
Virginia Governor Ralph Northam avoided cameras but could not avoid more controversy about this racist photo on his page in his decades-old medical school yearbook.
As you know, the past EVMS yearbooks have contained shockingly abhorrent pictures.
The president and provost of Eastern Virginia Medical School says the school will investigate a pattern of racist photos over the years. Northam said Friday when the photo surfaced he was in it. Then Saturday he denied it, though admitted he dressed in blackface one other time. Northam vows to stay in office, even as Democrats in his state and nationally continue to call on him to step down.
The key thing right now is Governor Northam needs to resign.
Yet the person who would replace Northam, Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax, faces his own controversy. The same conservative blog that first shared the yearbook photo published an article saying Fairfax sexually assaulted a woman at the 2004 Democratic National Convention. Fairfax denies the allegations, calling the encounter consensual. A source tells CNN the woman making the accusation has now hired the Washington, D.C. legal team, which represented Christine Blasey Ford during Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh's nomination hearings. Meanwhile, a senior advisor tells CNN Northam signed a bill Tuesday giving Amazon millions of dollars in subsidies to move to Northern Virginia. He is working through political chaos. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
In the midst of UK and European Union Brexit talks, a lot has been discussed, including the backstop. In short, the backstop means that there will be no tariffs on trade goods between the UK and the EU, as well as some restrictions being removed. But in Northern Ireland's case, they have expressed interest in aligning themselves with EU's single market to maintain the open border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. This decision will lead to more checks on goods entering into Northern Ireland from the rest of the UK. This has some worried about the implications of the backstop clause for Ireland. We go to Nick Robertson-Walsh, who has more on the subject.
It's a big week for Ireland's politicians with Brexit. The Prime Minister's going to Brussels, the Deputy Prime Minister's going to the United States. The week begins with the Europe Affairs Minister bringing the Dutch Foreign Minister here to the border between North and South to take a look.
Okay, who wants to go first?
Britain has asked the European Union to soften its position on the backstop. Is that possible?
Well, the backstop is not there because the European Union asked for a backstop, but because the UK has drawn a number of red lines, like not wanting a customs union, not wanting a border in the Irish Sea. So after 2.5 years of negotiation, it's not very realistic to expect that there will be a completely different outcome.
An hour earlier, I asked the Irish minister that same question. I got the same answer. Can you not soften the backstop?
The backstop is not something that we can compromise on. This is based on commitments that were given by the UK. This is based on commitments not just in terms of the Brexit negotiations last December and many times since then by the Prime Minister. This is based on an international peace treaty, which the UK are co-guarantors of and which they've repeatedly said that they want to protect. So what we're asking for is that they fulfil the commitments that they've made. This is a deal that was negotiated with the UK, by the UK. They were very much a part of these discussions for the past 2 years.
Can you help me understand the level of frustration that exists with the British position as we get closer to the deadline?
Well, of course, it is extremely serious in its consequences if there would be a no-deal Brexit. It will be extremely serious here where we are now, on the border that isn't a border between the Irish Republic and Northern Ireland. The consequence will also be very serious for the Netherlands, as we are one of the largest trading partners of the UK. So it's extremely important that we will agree on a negotiated Brexit.
As the Minister has said, we've spent 2 years looking at every possibility, and what we have come up with is the backstop. It was negotiated with the UK, by the UK, and in its current format. There are concessions on both sides, but we are almost 2 weeks on and we have yet to see any proposals that we believe would work.
Their border meeting, an object lesson for the UK in joined-up thinking and the EU's firm position. Likely a lot more high-profile visits to the border like this one before the issue of Brexit, the backstop on what's to become of this highly contentious border between Northern Ireland and the Irish Republic. Nick Robertson, CNN, on the border between Northern Ireland and the Irish Republic.
This concludes your national news segment. Up next, we have Jonathan Weatherin with your full weather report. Stay with us.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Action! Jonathan Cleverdon joins us here in the studio. John, what kind of weather can we expect this week?
Well, we could expect cold weather, Kate. Sadly, well, let's look at it as what it is right now. It is 38 degrees right now. Foggy, cloudy, no sun. So if you're feeling a little pale, don't worry, because I am too. It's also 33. Feels like 33. So it's cold outside. I know it's not what we want. So let's take a look at what everybody else felt across Oklahoma. Guyman had it nice, 60 degrees, 32 in Ponca, so they were with us, 49 in Elk City, 39 OKC area, expected, 56 in Lawton, 39 all the way over in Miami, and 67 in Ardmore. However, Durant had the best with 71, so I bet they all conjubilated together because it was warm there, and it wasn't here, so we didn't. Let's take a look at what the weather this evening is going to be like. Tonight, it will be 38 degrees. Winds coming from the north-northeast, 18 miles per hour. So it's going to be cold. Stay inside. Don't even go outside, I'm telling you. Humidity will be up to 78%. There's no reason to take that walk that you want to. Let's take a look at the weekend weather highlights. All right, it's going to be mostly sunny on Friday. It's not going to be warm. It'll be sunny, so we'll get that vitamin D. Be a little healthy. Mostly cloudy on Saturday, so going from mostly sunny to mostly cloudy. More clouds in the sky, that's never good, unless it's warm. And then temps will reach about the high 40s, so we're looking for a weekend full of coldness. I'm just telling you, straight out, get that rain jacket, wool sweaters, pull them back out. I know I told you to put them away last week or so, but it's cold. Now let's look at the 5-day forecast. 5-day forecast, let's see. It'll be partly cloudy, 32 tomorrow, with a low of 17. That's going to be cold. However, like I said, it's going to be mostly sunny on Friday, 38, low of 23. Saturday, mostly cloudy with a high of 44, 35. It's going to be, clouds will be coming back in. Clouds coming through Sunday with a high of 48, low of 36. And you don't even have to change clothes because it's going to be the same exact temperature on Monday. However, don't do that because good hygiene is always healthy. So that's all I got. Kate, back to you.
Thank you, John. Coming up, we've got Brennan Spear with the full scoop in entertainment.
Stay tuned.
Please have a seat. I'll be honest. Your resume, not what I'm used to.
I know.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need a hard worker.
Good. I've got 2 part-time jobs and to help my parents pay the bills.
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Welcome to the Entertainment Corner. I'm your host, Brendan Spear. Starting us off this past Sunday, the sub gap between PewDiePie and T-Series got dangerously low yet again. Saturday evening, the gap was at 100,000 subscribers, but by Sunday morning, it had fallen as low as 30,000. Many thought that PewDiePie's crown would finally be relinquished to the Indian music company T-Series, but then PewDiePie committed the cardinal gaming sin. In a video of Lawai on November 21st, PewDiePie reviewed a meme and said this.
PewDiePie played Fortnite with Ninja, so he gets 8-year-olds to sub too. That is genius. And I never played Fortnite. It's the one thing, it's the one shred of integrity I have left that I will not conform to play this overly popular video game just for the sake of views. I'm desperate.
PewDiePie lost that last shred of integrity Sunday morning when he finally got on and played Fortnite. Though this was not in vain, as we quickly saw the sub gap go from 30,000 to 100,000 in the span of just a couple of hours. Throughout the entirety of the day, we saw the sub gap reach over 130,000, keeping the YouTube king on top for at least a little while longer. Now, PewDiePie's Fortnite livestream wasn't the only attempt made to increase the sub gap. For months now, there has been speculation that PewDiePie supporter and fellow YouTuber Mr. Beast would buy an ad to be played during the Super Bowl. Now, unfortunately, things didn't work out for him to be able to purchase the ad. As one can imagine, Super Bowl ads are expensive, so much so that even Mr. Beast can't afford them on his own. He had planned to sell PewDiePie t-shirts in order to help raise the funds, but then learned that they are actually very strict as to what ads get on the Super Bowl. Mr. Beast tweeted out explaining his concerns, saying they are pretty strict on what they show. I just don't want to raise $1 million and then not deliver, aka scam people, so I did the next best thing with the shirts. While Mr. Beast wasn't able to deliver on the Super Bowl ad, he and his crew went to the Super Bowl and got tickets right behind the goalpost and wore shirts that said, "Subscribe to PewDiePie," so that they could be seen whenever a field goal attempt happened on that side. Unfortunately, due to this year's Super Bowl being such a low-scoring game, they only got on TV a few times, but they did indeed make it. Now, continuing on with the Super Bowl, the halftime show this year caused a lot of people some disappointment. A Change.org petition gathered over 1.2 million signatures saying that Maroon 5 should play Sweet Victory as a tribute to SpongeBob creator Steven Hillenburg, who passed away late last year. The reason for wanting Sweet Victory is because in an early episode of SpongeBob titled Band Geeks, the Bikini Bottom gang forms a marching band and plays at the Bubble Bowl, where they play Sweet Victory. On January 13th, Maroon 5 released a teaser for their halftime performance, which included a glitched glimpse of SpongeBob, causing fans to believe that they were going to actually play Sweet Victory. Finally, the day of the Super Bowl arrived and halftime started, and after performing a couple of songs, the moment that fans had been waiting for finally came. The intro clip to Sweet Victory came up, but then as far as fans are concerned, things went south. Instead of it leading into Sweet Victory, it led into a song performed by rapper Travis Scott. Many fans were highly disappointed in this, myself included. Now, Shane Dawson was hit hard this past week by YouTube's automated demonetization system. Dawson released a new video last week that covered numerous conspiracy theories, but the entire video ended up demonetized over one clip. The clip in question was that of the Bird Box challenge that was popular last month. YouTube's new guidelines prohibit videos that are seemingly encourage harmful or dangerous activities, such as the Bird Box challenge. Dawson was not encouraging the challenge in his video, and later his video got remonetized again after being reviewed by YouTube, but this still led to Dawson losing a large amount of potential income. Now that's all I've got for the Entertainment Corner this week. Let's head back to the desk with Kate.
Thank you, Brennan. Jenny Rigney is here with your Eagle Angle Sports Report.
Thank you, Kate. It's been a busy week for Eagle Athletics. So starting with the Lady Eagles basketball, who played at home on Saturday against the Newman Jets, Addie Clifton and Katie Mayo were shut down for long stretches of the game due to getting in foul trouble early on. And after making 16 turnovers and only making 25 of their attempted 33 free throws, the Lady Eagles were not able to hold on to the Jets, losing 86-81. And the men also played at home against the Jets on Saturday. While they rallied twice from double-digit deficits, the Eagles were unable to come out on top, losing 79-77. Despite the loss, OC did have some key players on the night. Jordan Boggs had 18 points, Marcus Blackwell and Roderick Smith both had 13. The Lady Eagles and Eagles will host St. Edwards tomorrow night at 5:30 and 7:30, then will go on to the road Saturday afternoon to Claremore, Oklahoma to face against Rogers State. And the men's golf team was in Vista, California this weekend. Though the Eagles were behind by 6 shots near the end of the tournament, they were able to bear down with a comeback win, and OC won the Fuji Cara Invitational 1 shot better than Chico State. This is the 3rd win for the Eagles in the 2018-2019 season. And the Hayes era for Lady Eagles softball team has begun, and they are off to a 5-0 start. The Lady Eagles won all 4 of their games in Lubbock, Texas this weekend at the Taj Hospitality College Softball Kickoff. Senior Kaylee Upton's performance earned the title of Eagle of the Week, and today she was named NCAA Division II Softball Player of the Week by the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association. On Saturday, Upton hit 4 home runs, driving in 10 runs. For the rest of the week, she batted for 600 with a double and 11 RBIs. Then on Tuesday, the Lady Eagles played through the fog for their first home game of the season. Though it wasn't a pretty win, the Lady Eagles were able to pull through in a 7th-inning rally, defeating East Central 8-7. The Lady Eagles play again at noon on Sunday against Washburn, and on Monday facing Texas Women's and Tarleton State. And for baseball, the Eagles had a strong opening weekend, finishing the Edmond First Pitch Classic 3-0. In the final game between the local rival UCO, the freshman outfielder Blake Imke, who was 3 for 5 with a double and driving in 2 runs and stole 2 bases. OC's next game will be Thursday in the Alpine Fresh for Him Classic. In Eagle Track and Field was at Texas Tech Open in Lubbock, Texas this weekend. Junior Kelsey Castillo finished 8th among 42 runners in the mile with a time of 5 minutes, 24.19 seconds. Junior LaWanda Harvey placed 20th out of 90 runners in the 200 meters. And freshman Colton Myers finished 3rd in the 3,000 meters. And this has been your Eagle Sports Report. We'll be right back after these short messages.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes, and you come to mine. This is it. First impression. My way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
So Mandolin Springsteen is coming.
I know, I can't believe it's already here, and I think tickets are already selling out and the stage is built.
Wow, that's crazy. It doesn't seem like we've been working too fast, but it's coming up.
I know.
Well, for all the latest updates on Springsteen and everything else OC, stay tuned to Eagle Angle, where it's your campus,
your news.